A shocking interview has sent ripples through Dalton, Illinois, as Jason House, the man who recently defeated Mayor Tiffany Henyard in the Democratic primary, sat down with journalist Regina Waller to reveal startling accusations about Henyard's leadership. What began as a small suburban village just south of Chicago has now erupted into political chaos, with allegations of corruption, financial mismanagement, and abuse of power coming to light. These revelations have sparked heated debates and raised serious concerns about Dalton's future. House's explosive interview has left the community questioning everything about Henyard's time in office, from her questionable spending habits to the deep-seated corruption allegedly embedded within her administration. Tensions that had been building for months have now reached a boiling point. House exposed details that many residents had long suspected, but few fully understood. He accused Henyard of lavish spending, including extravagant trips and questionable contracts, while fostering a culture of intimidation and control in Dalton. According to House, dissent was silenced, and anyone who opposed her was targeted. The interview paints a disturbing picture of a leader who allegedly treated the town as her personal empire, misusing power and resources while pushing Dalton into financial instability. These revelations have left many wondering, can the town recover from what some are calling years of mismanagement, or has Henyard's time in office left an irreparable stain on the community? Henyard's supporters argue that she has been unfairly targeted and that her leadership has been misrepresented. However, her critics are growing louder, demanding accountability and real change. The results of the Democratic primary sent a clear message. Many Dalton residents are fed up with the status quo. House's victory is seen as a sign that the people want a new direction, one that prioritizes transparency and responsible governance. With House now the frontrunner to lead Dalton, the town stands at a crossroads. Henyard's re-election bid has been shaken by the explosive allegations revealed in the interview. The political drama in Dalton is far from over. If House wins the general election, his victory will symbolize a community rejecting corruption and demanding reform. But what does this mean for Dalton's future? Will the town finally break free from Henyard's grip? Or is this just another chapter in its ongoing political turmoil? As the people of Dalton grapple with these uncomfortable truths, tensions remain high. The coming months promise to bring even more drama as the future of the town's government hangs in the balance. The stakes have never been higher, and the political landscape of this small town remains uncertain. Dalton may never be the same again as Mayor Tiffany Henyard faces mounting pressure. Questions about corruption, financial mismanagement, and leadership failures have become impossible to ignore. Residents and political observers alike are left wondering whether change is truly on the horizon or if the political chaos will only deepen. One thing is certain, Dalton's future is now in question, and the fallout from this interview will shape the town's political narrative for years to come. Jason House's victory in the Democratic primary for Dalton mayor was more than just a political win. It was a resounding message that the people of Dalton were ready for change after years of controversy and mismanagement under Henyard's leadership. House, who had long been a vocal critic of Henyard, made it clear during his campaign that he would not tolerate corruption. His stance directly challenged the culture of intimidation and secrecy that many believed had taken hold under Henyard's administration. This message resonated deeply with residents frustrated by years of financial instability and questionable governance. The result was a stunning upset, with House defeating Henyard and signaling a strong desire for a fresh direction in Dalton's political landscape. However, winning the primary is only the first step in a much larger battle. House now faces the immense challenge of governing a village in deep financial trouble, while Henyard still holds power until her term officially ends. The pressing question is whether House can fulfill his promises of change, transparency, and financial responsibility, or if he will encounter the same obstacles that plagued his predecessor. With Henyard's influence still looming over Dalton, tensions in the town's political scene have only escalated, setting the stage for a high-stakes struggle for control. This political drama took an even more dramatic turn when House sat down for an interview with journalist Regina Waller. What he revealed sent shockwaves through the community. The interview quickly became an explosive tell-all, with House holding nothing back as he exposed the financial chaos surrounding Dalton. He confirmed what many had suspected for months. Millions of dollars had been recklessly spent with little to no accountability, further deepening the financial crisis the village was already facing. House pointed to lavish expenses, undisclosed payments, and financial records that, according to him, painted a picture of complete mismanagement. But financial missteps weren't the only issue. House also described a deeply troubling culture of fear within Dalton's government. He alleged that employees and officials who questioned Henyard's decisions were either pushed out, intimidated, or silenced altogether. According to House, key figures in the administration were forced to approve questionable financial transactions or risk losing their jobs. Statements that echoed the claims of whistleblowers who had previously spoken out about Henyard's alleged authoritarian control over the village's operations. Perhaps the most shocking revelation came when House hinted at potential legal consequences for Henyard. While he didn't provide specific details, he suggested that investigators were already looking into some of the most troubling financial irregularities within Dalton's government. This revelation immediately sparked a wave of speculation among residents and political observers, leaving many to wonder whether Henyard was on the verge of facing serious legal repercussions for her actions. Though the interview ended, the fallout was just beginning. Henyard, already facing mounting criticism for her leadership, now finds herself under even greater scrutiny. Questions about her future and the potential consequences of her actions continue to swirl, leaving Dalton residents anxiously awaiting what comes next. One thing is clear. Dalton stands at a crossroads, and the coming months will determine whether the town can finally break free from the past or if its political turmoil will only deepen. Dalton stands at a critical juncture as Mayor Tiffany Henyard's administration faces mounting scrutiny. Allegations of corruption, financial mismanagement, and abuse of power have shaken the town, leaving residents questioning whether true change is possible or if political chaos will continue to unfold in new and unpredictable ways. Jason House's victory in the Democratic primary was more than just a political win. It was a powerful symbol of the community rejecting the status quo and demanding real change. As Dalton's future hangs in the balance, all eyes are on this small town, watching as its political landscape continues to shift. The question is no longer whether Dalton will recover, but whether it can truly escape the grip of Henyard's leadership. House, the man who just defeated Henyard, now faces the enormous task of delivering on his promises of transparency, accountability, and financial reform. Will he succeed in restoring trust and stability to the village, or will he find himself trapped in the same struggles that plagued his predecessor? With Henyard's administration facing increasing scrutiny and the looming possibility of legal repercussions, the stakes have never been higher. The political drama in Dalton is far from over, and with a divided community, the coming months will be critical. House's recent explosive interview with journalist Regina Waller added fuel to an already raging fire, leaving residents with more questions than answers. The interview exposed shocking allegations about Henyard's administration, and the key immediate impact was felt throughout the town. Social media exploded with heated debates, comments, and discussions as Dalton residents reacted to House's revelations. Some felt vindicated, believing that House had confirmed their long-held suspicions that Henyard's administration was plagued by corruption, financial recklessness, and secrecy. Others were stunned by the scale of the allegations and questioned how things had spiraled so far out of control. As the story spread, residents flooded online forums, local meetings, and public platforms, demanding answers from their local government. They raised concerns about missing funds, alleged intimidation tactics, and the possibility of legal action against Henyard. For many, these weren't just political issues. They were about the future of their town. The growing discontent and calls for accountability were undeniable, with some community leaders even calling for immediate audits and full investigations into Dalton's finances. As pressure mounted, Henyard's team responded with a statement dismissing House's claims as politically motivated. They accused him of exaggerating the situation to gain public support and insisted that her administration had always acted within the bounds of the law. Henyard herself took to social media, portraying herself as the victim of a smear campaign, calling her critics jealous politicians, and suggesting that outside forces were trying to bring her down.